What's up, guys? I know I promised you guys a live trading session for Friday, and I did record it over here, but I was listening back to the audio and it was a bit messed up, so I'm just gonna talk over it and go over it at the end of the video. But most importantly, I want to talk about the importance of having rules and a game plan when trading, right? And I just want to paint a little picture and story. It's not the best of jobs, but I think it gets a bit of the point across, right? When I first started, I realized that I needed rules to follow in trading for me to see some type of result and become profitable, right? So when I first started, I had a rule, or I put a rule that once I close my trade in profit, I don't trade anymore for the day, right? And I always like to have a reasoning as to why I do things, right? And I just put a little reasoning here, and I'll go through the second rule in just a second. It helps me not overtrade, and truthfully, more often than not, this actually hurts you, right? Because here, let's just say, and I put a little story here, which we're going to talk about in a second. You start to build bad habits when you do this, right? And it takes time for you to get rid of those bad habits because, for the most part, we don't really realize it that fast until it's almost like a little bit too late, right? So sometimes it actually like does work out and you do make some more money if you take that other opportunity, but you're building a bigger problem. Like you're going to build a very bad habit that truthfully it's a little hard to get rid of, right? It takes some time to get rid of. And then this is what used to happen to me, right? I used to trade, right? Close my trade in profit. Let's just say I closed it at a 1-to-1, which is $500. And then I lose the trade. Now I'm break even. And then guess what? I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I was just up 500 and now I'm up nothing, right? And now I want to get back to my 500. And then what happens after that? I get back to that 500 and then I get like really greedy, or I used to get really greedy, and I wanted to get to that 1-to-2, and then guess what? The trade just goes the other way, and then boom, I'm stopped out, and I'm down 500 now for the day. And now it's like you go into this little like downward spiral where it's just horrible to be in, right? So like set yourself up for success, right? I just want to give you guys a little experience that I used to have, and then I created a second rule that it's like, okay, let's say I do lose my first opportunity, I'm only gonna give myself one more opportunity for the day, and then that's it. Whether it works out or not, I'm just gonna walk away for the day, and that's it, like period, right? And then this just helps me control risk and have proper risk management because if I do that, right, I know exactly how much each day I'm potentially risking, right? Because call it as it is, we're risking money every day. Like we don't have a full guarantee of a trade going towards our take profit, right? It's not guaranteed at all. So I just put this little example here for my visual learners. Let's say my stop loss, which it is, it's 50 points on both, right? But on one, I stop at a TP1, which I make 500. On the other, I stop at a TP2, which is I make 1,000, right? But my stop loss always remains the same, and I keep the same risk, right? This is how I can easily track my progress, and it's just way better, guys. Like this is one of the little tweaks that I did for myself that made a huge difference in my trading. And I just want to give you guys a deeper example, right? This is just like the trading week, right? So don't focus too much on the candles or the setups or anything like that. This is just an example with random times and stuff, just for you to guys to understand the concept that I'm trying to get at, like the point that I'm trying to get across, right? Let's say on Monday I win a trade. It's a 1-to-1. I'm up $500, right? Perfect. I'm happy. Tuesday comes by. I win a trade. It's a 1-to-2. Now I'm up 1,000, right? Perfect. Wednesday comes by. Guess what? I lose my first opportunity. The trade didn't go my way. I thought it was gonna be buys, whatever, and it ended up being sells. But I do take my second opportunity because that's one of my rules, and it actually does work out. And now I'm up 500 for the day because 1,000 on the second opportunity from a 1-to-2 minus the 500 I lost. Now I'm up 500, right? Perfect. Come on Thursday now, and I lose 500 here on this trade. I'm still following my rules. I take my first opportunity, I lose. I take my second opportunity. I was about to hit TP, but I lost the 500. Let's move on to Friday, right? Friday comes back, boom, lose my first opportunity as well. second opportunity as well, right? And I don't know if you guys just noticed what happened, right? Like I followed my rules, but I went up from being $2,000 in profit between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to breaking even just because of two red days that I had, let's say Thursday and Friday. And what I want to get at is, guys, that you guys need to take a moment to self reflect and actually make an efficient game plan. Like, take a step back and look at the charts and everything for what it is, right? Because usually we find this out, but way after it's already done, where we're like, how did this happen? Wow, like I could have avoided this, right? So at this point in time, I made a rule where I always take a moment to really step back, reflect. So this is like usually my, I guess people call it journaling time. After the market closes, right? I take like 5-10 minutes and I self reflect on like what happened throughout the day. I check like, okay, what did I do good? What did I do bad? Like, did I actually follow my plan? Did I not? And I just write it down and I just take notes. I'm not changing anything immediately because I don't have enough like data to make a real decision, right? I just write it down, take the notes, and then I typically like will come back at the end of the month or something like that and just kind of review and see if there's a pattern forming that I'm able to tweak, and then I test that out for a while, right? Like, this is just what I want to talk about here, right? Always have rules in place, but take like the data, like see what's going on, and then tweak them along the way. So I went from having like the same rules that I have, right? These are not all of my rules, but I'm just talking about two, and then I added a third. That once I close my trade in profit, I walk away for the day. Boom. That's been my rule, almost since the beginning. And then the second rule was two opportunities per day. But then it's like I started to realize I don't have to trade every day. Not every single day the market's gonna give me like a high probability trade, right? And I don't have to take the second opportunity. I'm not forced to. I can choose to stop at that one opportunity, right? And then I'm gonna show you guys an example down below. And then I put here that I added that once the market closes, I come back, I analyze my trade. Like, I go about my day. I think about other things. I'm not thinking about trading. Go about my whole day, and then I come back with like almost like a fresh mind where it's not thinking too much about trading, and I take a step back and just see everything for what it is, right? And I create a game plan to set myself up for success. So what could have happened if I had this rule earlier was I would have thought to myself like, okay, cool, like I'm up 2,000 for the week between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I put the little example here for you guys, for my visual learners. So coming into Thursday and Friday now, I'm only gonna give myself one opportunity so that I can, manage my risk and set myself up for success. Because if I do that and I'm up these 3 days, I can guarantee myself $1,000 profit for the week, right? And this was the whole point of this little chat with you guys, is to take a moment to yourself. Like, don't do it right after you trade or none of that. Go about your day, go do something else, and then come back later and realize and see things for what they are, right? It's like, you have to really take a moment to think, because things happen so fast, like when we're on the charts, that sometimes we don't even process or see what's going on, and we need that moment to like actually see it for what it is, right? So yeah, that was my little talk there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave me any feedback down below. And then now I'm gonna go over the trade I had taken on Friday. Today's Saturday. The trade I had taken on Friday. It was a live trade, but the audio was messed up. As you can see down here, that's the date, that's the time, and yeah. So coming into Friday, I had a game plan already, right? I always do this before. I'm only gonna take one opportunity to not put the week's profit at risk. Today's Friday. There's no need to over risk. The week is already green, right? And I understand due to current structure, we're in a downtrend, so my buy scenario is a little bit more risky, but I would either close at a 1-to-1 or keep going depending on volume. Um, yeah, I put that there, right? I'm leaning towards buys because I understood that, we had to retrace. The thing with retracements is that retracements don't have to happen immediately, right? Like a retracement can take a couple days to actually retrace the move. But typically, I know that based on experience, that we at least retrace 50% of the move, and then like continue. But the zones you really want to see, which is a healthy retracement, is the 61.8, and then sometimes you'll see the 78.6, right? Either way, going back to this, I put it all here. I analyzed everything, and when I'm trading, I analyze like where could potentially price have an issue, like what could potentially get in the way of price getting to where I wanted to go to, right? So these are the two zones. This is why I'm taking the buy over here, because this is like a support zone, and I would like to see it be above. And then this is why I'm closing over here at a 1-to-1. It's Friday. I'm already up, and it's near that 61.8, and then that's also like a minor resistance on a 5-minute, right? So I'm just gonna play this video real quick. I don't really need to listen to it because I just talked over it. So, oh, and also something, I don't know if you guys caught it on the last video. I'm just gonna go back real quick. I don't take a trade exactly at 9:30. I take a trade a minute after, and I really don't care if the trade hits TP1 at 9:30, because usually the 9:30 in my personal experience is like a bit of manipulation. So I always like to give it some time, especially when I'm taking a trade so close to, like when my setup is so close to being hit on one side, right? And I'll talk a little bit more about this on later videos, but yeah, typically I only like for me to be entered into a trade at 9:31, right? A minute after. So I'm gonna show you guys here. This is, I believe this is the 9:30. No, it's not yet. The 9:30 is coming up right here. Okay, so this is the 9:30 candle. As you can see, I would have got entered there, and then you're gonna see what happens. You're gonna see that push at 9:30. All right, I'm gonna just watch this here real quick. Yeah, you see that push? I don't get too concerned. Like if it goes and it hits TP1, I'm done. I'm not even gonna take a trade. That's it, right? I already had a game plan coming into Friday, so you're gonna see it. I haven't taken my setup out the way because again, it could do like reverse here and then actually activate my sell at the given time frame that I enter. But look what happens. The buys start to play out. It almost is gonna hit TP. You guys are gonna see that in a second. It's almost gonna hit TP, and I'm not worried. It didn't hit TP, so and it's a minute after now. It's 9:31. This is the candle. This is where I actually take my trade, and I actually get an entry, and I just enter. I already have my risk. I know that even if I lose this, my week is green, so I'm totally okay with doing this. And even if it did hit TP1 before, I would have just walked away for the day and not even trade, right? So always have a game plan coming in. So I entered there. I think that it's gonna give like one more opportunity to enter in case, but I did enter there, right? And I entered on my Top Step account on my phone. I got my entry, and now I let the trade do what it does, right? You're gonna see something here in the video where I adjust my stops. I was just talking about it in the video. Typically, like when my trade is about to hit TP1, like when it's like 35, 40 points into profit, I'll adjust my risk in half, because I feel like if the trade is 40 points in profit and my stop loss is 50 points, that's my stop loss always, right? If my stop loss is 50 points, and the trade is 40 points in profit, I don't want to give it 90 whole points of drawdown, like to retest my entry, and then it could potentially take me out. It's like I'd rather just risk half. So I'll talk about this in another video, but I'm usually playing with my risk, minimizing my risk as the trade goes on. But I always have a game plan. Like today, I know for sure I'm closing at a TP1. That's why I get taken out, and it's gonna go. Actually, I didn't get taken out there. I got taken out a little bit right there. That's where I got taken out. But yeah, guys, like always have a game plan. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Join the free community down below. I'm gonna drop a breakdown of the week. So yeah, guys, I hope to see you guys in there. Please leave a like, comment, share. Give me any feedback. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place. It's like my first time really recording videos, so trying to get used to it and try to provide you guys as much value as I possibly can. Again, I appreciate you guys. Peace.